And so, what's the? We've got about 5 minutes left. What's the most?
They close it during the peak hour, so.
What's the most important thing that you would like to leave the public with about this system and what occurs to you that you're considering?
Well, the whole objective behind this study, and we are in a study phase right now, and that's why public input is so very important in engaging with the public during this process, because we really want to hear from them what their perspective is, what their particular issues are, so we can take those in consideration. But one of the key objectives is we understand that financial resources are scarce. We can't continue to build ourselves out of this congestion. There's only so much right-of-way, and the cost for continuing to expand by building more main lanes, for instance, is just cost prohibitive. We can't. So the purpose behind this study is we're looking for lower cost alternatives for improving capacity along the corridor. So what are some of those low-cost alternatives? It would be traffic operations. How do we deal with our traffic better along the corridor to help us increase capacity? Can we manage traffic differently? The other thing that we want to consider is how do we deal with informing the public before they get in their vehicle? Are there different things that we can do to give them better information before they make their trip so that they're making better and more informed travel choices? We also want to take a look, are there any low-cost improvement alternatives, some system modifications like ramp modifications or ramp relocations that we can consider that would have great impact along the corridor. And then one of the things that I think the Houston region does extremely well right now is providing different travel options, carpooling, van pooling, telecommuting. The employers in the area have done a very good job of implementing some of those programs. So we want to continue to make sure that we're doing a good job of implementing those programs because they can have a great impact along the corridor.
Thank you, Brent. Marco Bracamontes again, Manager of Public Outreach here with H-GAC. And I want to just recap for the Spanish-speaking audience what's happening here. Bienvenidos todos a esta junta comunitaria que explica la situación del corredor de la supercarretera 59, ahora redenominada la I-69, o como lo llamamos el Southwest Freeway, tan importante para la población latina, para la población hispana. Estamos hablando de la zona de Hillcrop, de la zona de Fulton, y necesitamos sus comentarios respecto a los problemas que ustedes reciben, que ustedes enfrentan día con día al ir a su trabajo, al ir a su empresa, al ir a su negocio, al ir a su escuela. Quisiéramos que nos dieran sus comentarios, que visiten al sitio de internet www.mysouthwestfreeway.com. Este es el mysouthwestfreeway.com. Es el sitio de internet que ustedes tienen que visitar para conocer más los materiales, la situación que está pasando y darnos sus comentarios a comentarios@h-gac.com, comentarios@h-gac.com. Mil gracias por su atención. Hemos estado aquí desde las oficinas del Houston-Galveston Area Council. Gracias.
So what we have here as far as congestion mitigation strategies, and this is basically letting people know about queue warnings, basically when they can actually come up onto traffic and let people know that they need to actually slow down before they get to the backup where the bottleneck is actually occurring within the corridor.
So explain that a little more.
So as the peak period congestion builds up through the course of the day, I'm sorry, as the traffic builds up during the day, you have the congestion as it actually backs up into the corridor. We actually warn people that they need to slow down before they get to the back of the stop vehicles in front of them to basically reduce the amount of crashes that occur within the freeway section.
Okay, and the next one?
Dynamic rerouting. This is actually telling folks that there is congestion in the corridor and that they should actually take the time to look for other ways to get to where they're going. Basically saying that if you can get from point A to point B using a different route or different street, then they should look at those different ways of getting from different roads instead of using 59 corridor. Managed or HOV or hot lanes are what you're experiencing today, where we're actually using transit has its priority on the managed lane, and that's where we're running the buses. And so it allows people to have more reliability within the corridor, better travel time speeds, and it gives people a choice when they have to actually get from their work or to home in a more expeditious way to be able to pick up the kids and be able to get to home on time. Managed lanes actually give us the opportunity to let those people have the reliability that they need in their lives. Variable speed limits, this is actually looking at ways to reduce the speeds on the facility based upon congestion. Around 40 to 45 miles an hour is the most efficient capacity handling that we can get on a freeway section. So by telling folks to slow down just a little bit, they can actually get to where they're going faster. Ramp flow control, this is ramp metering, something that you're very familiar with these days. And what that does is it limits the amount of traffic that's actually getting on the freeway. And so you're actually able to get better flows on the freeway section just by metering or reducing the amount of traffic that's getting on at any point at any given time. Dynamic merge control, this is what you see a lot of along 610, and as we get up to 45, you see those people that are getting in and making the lane change at the very last moment, and this tries to give the people information to where they're not making that cutting in front of the people in front of that have been waiting in line. So hopefully this is what this does, it lets people use the facility in a more friendly way, and also fixes some of the merge weave or the congestion as it occurs. It lets people make the decisions sooner. Signal optimization, operations and management. This is just how we prioritize and give green time to the cross streets and to the main traffic. And so by modifying the signal operation by time of day, we're able to get more people through the intersections and reduce the overall delay. But it also lets us look at signal operations as a system. So we look at prioritization of corridors to where you have those green band progressions. We're able to hit multiple green lights as we're going through the corridor. And by doing this and adjusting those routes, we're actually able to get people through the system more efficiently. Travel information systems. This is basically being able to give people the opportunity to make decisions earlier. So by using the dynamic messaging sign and actually giving real-time information, we're actually able to give them the opportunity to make choices before they get to congestion in the roadway. We're talking about ramp configuration. Typically we have what's called a diamond pattern, and you can see the diamond pattern where we have the exit ramps very close to the intersections. But when we actually are able to space them out into what we call an X pattern, you actually get onto the frontage road and then you drive up to the intersection. What this does too, it provides an opportunity to improve traffic signal operations at the intersections because it gives you basically an intersection bypass. So the people that actually want to go through the intersection have an option if they're just trying to get to a business that's located along the frontage road. They don't necessarily have to go through the intersection itself. Access management. This applies not only to the freeways but also to the frontage roads, where we look at driveway spacing. You know, when you have multiple driveways that are like 20 feet apart, you have a lot of conflict points, and when you have conflict points along the roadway, you have a lot of crashes, and it also impedes the amount of traffic that we can handle on the roadway. By spacing out our driveways and putting the right number of driveways to be able to access the businesses, it's actually a win-win for everyone. Variable pricing. This is where as the roadway gets more congested, we raise the amount of prices in our toll facilities because people want to pay for that reliability, be able to get home in a time that they can anticipate and predict. And by allowing us the variability of the pricing, it allows us to make sure that the freeways are operating at their optimal level.